Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the Disney Morning Show. I am Kyle, and joining me this morning is the very special guest, Benji.
Hey, I don't know how to take that, but
Well, you're very special because you've only done it like a couple of times, whereas
that
at
is
this
true.
point, Luke and Tony have done it dozens of times.
I think this is my second time.
Yeah, I think that's right. Let's say some hellos, Benjamin. Yeah, you're in charge of the comments.
Oh, okay, good to know. Uh, awesome. Thank you very much. The Disney dude WD1CN says, "Man, it's sick how they did that." I think he's going to talk about talking about pirates, which we'll talk
Probably,
about
yeah.
in a minute. Hello, Fred. He wants to know how your trip was. I'm sure you'll be talking about that.
Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about that.
Nikki B says, "Happy back for Friday." Not just any Friday.
Yeah.
Today's a special Friday. Is this a thing? Is this a bit you guys do, Friday?
Yeah, I mean, it's Nikki's thing, and then we've kind of adopted it. So yeah, we always talk about the Friday edition of the show.
Because even Gio's here talking about Friday. Fred says,
Sick
"Welcome
day on
aboard."
Friday.
It's good to see you. Actually, getting a shout out. Thank you, Jeannie plus plus.
Cool. Well, let's take a look at the Disney stock price. I believe it was on Monday when we last checked the Disney stock price. It was at 102.78, and now, unfortunately, it has fallen below the Disney 100. So, going on, Benji? Why don't they like the stock?
Well, I think the market is sluggish. I mean, although the Dow's up right now, but it's been down all week. So I don't know that it's as much a Disney thing as it is just a market thing.
Well, wait till they see this pirate we're about to talk about.
So the reason I kind of marked this on my list is because I actually got to see this technology at WDI, which I can now talk about. And it's basically it's an audio animatronic combined with forward projection. You've probably seen something like this similar at the Monsters Unleashed ride over at Universal Epic Universe. The dumb name. Now that Disney brand television is gone, that's taken the award for dumb names. But it's not just like they project on it; they actually show, like, they track the figure so that if something happens, like it doesn't exactly go, like, when maybe a motor isn't exactly working the way it's supposed to, it won't just completely cause the attraction to go down. It actually tracks the face, and it does it because there's symbols that are actually done in UV light across the forehead, so that the camera can see it and guests don't see it. And basically the pirate, it's in the, I have mixed feelings about like the placement of this, but it's in that, the treasure scene, and the pirate gets the cursed gold, looks at it, turns into a skeleton, freezes. The skeleton freezes, causes him to drop the gold, and rinse and repeat. So, it's nice to see them plussing again. There's, at Walt Disney World, there's been a lot of these sort of enhancements. Muppets Coaster is a little bit of a broad example, but Buzz Lightyear came back better. Big Thunder. It's nice to see Disneyland trying to add a little bit of pixie dust when they take these things down for necessary refurbishments.
Yeah, and Mike is on his way down to the Disneyland Resort to hopefully get a closer look at this in person.
Yeah, hashtag tell us you didn't give us a heads up. Not that they need to, but like sometimes we can get it really fast because we had heads up.
Yeah,
which is fair. Not complaining, just to be clear.
But we have people all over the world. Not only do we have Mike driving down to Disneyland, I just flew back from Florida, but Alex is over at Annecy in France and got some breaking news from there.
Yeah, so we knew that they were going to be doing something more than just talking about Hexed. What I didn't expect was that we've got a new Lilo and Stitch short done by Disney Animation Studios, the people who made the original movie, called Lilo and Scratch. And basically, Lilo adopts a cat, and let's just say there's more to this cat than meets the eye. It'll be attached to Hex when it releases this November. But what's cool about it is they developed a new pipeline. So they're able to combine hand-drawn elements and painted elements with CG elements that look 2D. So you can tailor to the artist. So they were able to have animators who worked on Stitch when the movie came out, 25 years ago, do it the traditional way, but then combine that with artists that work on the computer today, and you can't tell the difference. They did a fun little thing at the presentation where they showed, okay, here's 6 backgrounds. 2 of them were pan painted, the rest were done CG. Can you tell me which one's which? And no one could. So, I just think it creates a possibility to really embrace the 2D style, but not having to completely change the way thousands of artists are working already, which I think is part of the challenge of making 2D animation at a feature length level these days. So who knows what the future holds for this? Obviously, the Lilo and Stitch franchise is resurgent with the recent live action film and the upcoming sequel to the live action film. Just in Asia, and obviously Lilo and Stitch is huge there. So it's nice to see short. And I mean, who doesn't? It's been a while since there's been a theatrical short, so I'm glad to see this come back.
And of course, it is Stitch Day too. 6/26.
It is Stitch Day, which is I don't know if it's a coincidence. I mean, because they always do this presentation on this day. It just seems like kismet, I guess. But
yeah,
it's not Dory Day.
Well, yeah, not to be left out, Pixar also officially announced a new short called Loving Dory. We actually heard about this a couple of months ago when, the trades ran a story that Ellen DeGeneres was returning to voice Dory for this. But yeah, Alex got to learn a little bit more about it, so you can check out his article all about it. But the weird thing is that one would assume that just like the Lilo and Stitch is being attached to Hex, that this would be attached to Gato, but they didn't specifically say that. They said it would be premiering in theaters soon, so we'll have to see what that means. I don't exactly know what else they would do, but you never know.
I mean, you have the live action Moana, and then I think that's it for like Disney branded films outside of Hex this year. So I'm not 100% sure, but it'll come out where it comes out. I think we all presumed Once Upon a Studio was going to be attached to Wish, and it wasn't. So, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. But then transitioning into the world of live action hits, got some Descendants news this morning.
Yeah, we got the official trailer for Descendants Wicked Wonderland, the 5th Descendants movie, the second one in the sort of second trilogy that they're doing. And I think this one looks really good. I was a little lukewarm on Rise of Red. I kind of felt it was a little anticlimactic. But this one, where the impact of altering time and causing the Queen of Hearts to not be completely crazy has consequences, as anyone who's seen a Back to the Future film knows. And we will see what those consequences are to the Mad Hatter, Hattie, the son of the Mad Hatter. So we'll see. I'm excited for this. I haven't watched it yet, but I'll probably do so in the coming days. But I think there's something important about having these sort of kid accessible Disney films that are, obviously every major Disney movie is kid accessible, but these ones that are really tailored to that teen tween audience, I just think it helps build, loyalty and exposes them to the other films, as they get as an entry point. So I'm hoping this one's pretty good, and look forward to catching it on Disney Plus and Disney Channel, and presumably Hulu and ESPN Plus, wherever else they decide to put it.
Yeah, and going inside LP for a second, in the email we got about this, it said that the new song was now available, but it was not at the time. But it is now. Well, we've confirmed that the new song is now streaming, and you can also pre-save the full soundtrack on, Apple Music and Spotify and the like. But in some interesting crossover news, Disney Cruise Line is celebrating Stitch Day, as Stitch has knock down the prices of some select Disney cruises. You can save up to 30%. And of course, this varies by sailing, and there are also restrictions on which room types this will apply to. But you have a limited time to do this, and if you are looking to take advantage of it, we recommend you talk to our friends at Mouse Fan Travel. go to mousefantravel.com/laughingplace. They'll be able to take care of you and make sure you can take advantage of this deal, or if something better comes along somehow, they can rebook you for, it doesn't cost you anything. They can only save you money. So no reason not to use them. And Benji knows that if things go wrong, they can also be helpful.
I think, I mean, this is a great price, but this is one of those rooms where there's a lot of caveats, not in a bad way. I mean, obviously this is a great deal, 30% off the guaranteed rate. I mean, that's that's the rate where you don't get to pick and you kind of get a savings because you're not picking an exact stateroom. And but there's limited sailings and, which is makes the best deal. So this is definitely one where it's like, okay, this is a great deal. I have 4 days to figure it out. Let me, look at my calendar. Let me work with them. Here's when I can go. Give me my options. That's the kind of thing that Mouse Fan Travel is really good at.
Yeah, because there's nothing worse, like not even just in booking travel, but trying to take advantage of things, trying to navigate all of those. Like, why isn't it showing in my cart? I've had those. So having somebody else help you with that is very useful. Up next, Disneyland Paris. So I will say we kind of missed. We didn't have a morning show for a few days this week, and they announced all the domestic holiday stuff, which you can check out all on Laughing Place. It's largely the same as it has been, returning dates for the after hours parties. The interesting one is that they are going to start, they have a couple of dates for Jollywood Nights in January. So that's kind of cool. But we're going to head over to Paris because they've announced their dates, and that is November 7th through January 6th. And now that the World of Frozen is open at Disney Adventure World, they're teasing some additions for that land for the holiday season, which should be a lot of fun. So good time to visit Paris. I mean, it does get pretty cold in like November, December, but I think overall I enjoy the weather there. So I would recommend, if you can make a holiday trip over there, I think it's worth it.
It's the first time I think Disney Adventure World, it really has a reason to go for the holidays too. Which it's nice that, because I don't believe Hong Kong does much for their World of Frozen for the holidays. So this is actually,
I mean, it's still pretty new, but yeah, I don't think they've done much either.
So I mean, I think that's really cool decision. Yeah.
This is an interesting story because I didn't think the movie Aquamarine did that well in theaters, but I guess it's got, that hocus pocus cult status because Disney has now ordered a TV pilot.
Hang on.
Okay.
You just left it's got legs like bit completely on the table.
Sorry. Not thinking. But yeah, this is going to be written by Sarah Watson, who is known for the creator of The Bold Type. And the original director of the movie, Elizabeth Allen Rosenbaum, is also attached to produce. And the star who you see on the left there, Emma Roberts, is apparently confirmed to guest star on the thing. So she's not going to be like a regular on this show, but, sweeten the deal since this is only a pilot. We don't know if it'll go forward, just like Buffy and a few other ones that have come out recently that were well hyped and then kind of fell apart. But yeah, apparently Aquamarine is a thing people care about and could be coming back.
I have a problematic relationship with Aquamarine because, I'm familiar with a lot of Disney, and then I went to the Disney Plus throwback thing, and they had this Aquamarine like set up for makeover, and then they did the Disney Plus trivia, and there's this Aquamarine thing, and I thought it was like some Disney Channel original movie that completely escaped me. I was like, I mean, not that the 13th year is not basically this, but like I was completely gobsmacked, and then I realized it was part of the Fox acquisition. And okay, I mean, I'm happy. I had some work to do. In fact, I was almost going to tell you that we should do have someone do like a retroactive review of Aquamarine because like Disney seemed to be pushing it, and now it seems like they're pushing it. So
yeah, I was working at the movie theater when this came out and didn't seem to make much of an impact at the time, but who knows. Also, some other TV news. Lizzie Kaplan has joined FX's Far Cry anthology series. So Far Cry is a very popular video game, and it's being adapted into an anthology series that will be on FX and, of course, stream on Hulu and internationally on Disney+. And yeah, I like Lizzie Kaplan. She's in the second Now You See Me, which is not called Now You Don't. I think the third one is now, finally. But yeah, and I don't think she's in the third one actually. But yeah, so you could check that out when it comes to FX and Hulu and all the other good stuff, and just eventually. But Benji, it's Friday, which means it's time for us to check the Disney Plus Top 10. And yes, something not animated will be on it this time because Avatar Fire and Ash has joined the platform since we last did this. So it is number one, of course. But then it looks like the animation domination starts. We have Toy Story, Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3, and Toy Story 4 in that order, followed by Secret Life of Pets 2, Hoppers, the original Avatar, Spider-Man No Way Home, and the Hopper's Nature ambience that some people are clicking, thinking it's the regular movie.
I'm just impressed you consider Avatar not animated. It's not, but some people.
Yeah, I'll ask the Academy. Oh my gosh, could you imagine if it could be nominated for Best Animated? There'd be riots in the streets.
And I've had my share of bad reviews. I still remember my first good one, though. Everything else in this production of Our Town was simply terrible. Joey Tribbiani was abysmal.
Benji, you got to review a new film that's on Disney Plus, or coming to Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's actually there right now. Debuted today. Paul Simon, The Quiet Concert?
Celebration Concert.
The Quiet Celebration Concert. If I read the notes, I'd realize it's right there instead of trying to zoom in on my little screen. And it is, so fun fact, my dad went to elementary school, Paul Simon. So that is like the...
Is he Julio?
No, he's not Julio. He's Steven. But Steven down by the schoolyard is not quite the same. And so like I've always had this like weird affinity for Paul Simon, even though like I don't typically go for that kind of folksy rock music that he's known for. But you know, I was excited to see this. It's interesting. Starts with and my parents actually went to this concert when it was in San Francisco. This one was filmed in Seattle, but it starts basically saying he had some inner ear loss or hearing loss, and then when they went to go fix it, they made it worse and basically lost it. And so he didn't think he was going to be able to perform with a band again. But then they basically figured, oh, we can move the wedge to the ear, and then that way you can hear things. You know, it doesn't get too loud. Not that Paul Simon, you know, not exactly talking Aerosmith here. But so the first portion, I don't want to say half because it's really the first portion is like 30 minutes, is just going through his 7 Psalms album, which is basically one long performance of 7 songs, including with his wife. And then takes a little break, you know, in the movie it just says part 2, and then sort of a celebration of his career from hits like, you know, Graceland to Sound of Silence, and sort of deeper cuts that don't even have Wikipedia entries. But overall, you know, he's a artist where when you can see his face and see the sort of emotion, I mean, it's a very poetic performance. I think it's strong. I mean, he's obviously 85. And so he's not exactly has the greatest range of voice, but you don't need it. You know, he has a lot of texture to it due to his age. So I really enjoyed it. You know, it's about 2 hours. I think it's 1 hour and 59 minutes. But I think it's, you know, which is not saying nothing considering there's no, you know, the intermission's taken out. So if you saw it in concert, it was, you know, an over 2 hour experience. So
yeah. Would you say you're still crazy after all these years?
Well, I think we all know the answer to that.
And the rest.
Going to end the rest. The annual tradition, the world's largest swim lesson, happened at Walt Disney World recently. Had participants from several Central Florida nonprofits that Disney supports, including the Boys and Girls Club of Central Florida, the Girl Scouts of Citrus, which sounds delicious, Coalition of the Homeless of Central Florida, Elevate Orlando, and Alanza Center. So you could check out some a little bit more on that over. Jeremiah's gone in the past. He did not go this year, it seems, but he has gone in the past, and it's always a good time, apparently. Level 99's opening at Disney Springs is just around the corner. And yesterday, Luke got a chance to go and preview it. Everyone needed a buddy because, a lot of these can't just be by yourself. So he went with his brother. And you could check out his full, all the photos and video that he sent in of this experience. It looks like a lot of fun. And I hear good things, but maybe we'll talk about that later.
I'm curious to see what he has to say about it. I just got back to the United States like 2 days ago, so I'm still a little playing catch up. So I wasn't really monitoring his day there yesterday, but I'm curious to hear what he has to say about it. Because it's one of those things where, it's a Disney offering, we kind of get beats all along the way, whereas these sort of third-party things, they're more of a surprise when we get there.
Yeah. And as we said, Alex is over at Annecy, so he's beyond the big news posts. We also have some other coverage from him.
Yeah, well, that's not. I know Stitch kind of took the headline, but this is the main part of the presentation was about their next release, Hexed, which has been transformed from what we heard about at D23 last year, but into a mother-daughter story. And in a magical world, it almost feels it's the same. Fawn, who did the co-directed Wish, is directing this one. There does seem to be, I don't want to say connective tissue. It's not like the same cinematic universe, but it seems to be a similar vibe. A lot of Disney nods, a lot of Disney references. Alex is actually probably in about 8 minutes is interviewing the production team. So we'll get more about it. But like the book, the magic book is named Elias. So I was kind of concerned when they made Wish that like they would take the wrong lesson, which was, celebrate Disney's legacy, which is not the lesson they should have taken from that sort of disappointment. But I'm excited to see what more about this, of the things that he's seen in Annecy, and we'll have more to talk about when he gets back. This is the thing that he is the most excited about.
Nice. And then also recently, Doobie and Rebecca got to go down to San Diego to check out the Padres Toy Story 5 night and have, I think Rebecca wrote this, reporting back with their experience, including these awesome shirts with the characters and the little San Diego Padres sheriff's badge there on the front, which is a clever design, and the lily pad. And so, yeah, you can check out their full report about their Toy Story 5 night experience over on Laughing Place.
Yeah, it was a series of like Toy Story 5 nights across Major League Baseball, except not the San Francisco Giants, the baseball team basically next to Pixar.
Or the Sacramento A's.
Well, I don't think they're called that.
They're not, but who are we kidding? But then, Benji, you, as you just mentioned, got back to the United States 2 days ago, but you wrote an article about Shanghai.
I did. It was the 10th anniversary of Shanghai Disney Resort. And, each of these sites, is what we call like each destination, because destination is too many syllables. And it has its own character and how they do their own celebrations. And this was kind of surprising to me because we were kind of told like, okay, you guys should try and get out there. And I was like, okay, we were just in Hong Kong for the 20th and we had a little ceremony and stuff. It almost seemed like a big deal. This was a big deal. They did a whole presentation like the night before, they called it media sharing, but I would call it a press conference. And then like a red carpet.
They did not announce a second theme park.
They did not. They announced the name of a hotel. Then they had a red carpet, which was gold, but they still called it a red carpet. And then Andrew Bolstein, who you see here, he's the head of basically the president of the park. I think it's so cool. He's like this guest brought like a recreation of his Disney ID. To get a picture with him, and they did Mickey wave, and then they had a whole other ceremony. So there's 2 castle ceremonies for 10th anniversary celebration. And I think Shanghai Disneyland is the one that is the hardest to get to for lots of reasons. I mean, obviously there's visa restrictions, there's ways around that, but there's a process. And then when you get there, there's internet restrictions that make uploading fun. But when you're in the park, you don't realize that there's any difference. And, when the park first opened, and when I went there the first year, there was a lot of like guest training that had to happen. Like I remember walking through Adventure Isle and like they were like people were like had bags of like counterfeit merchandise that were trying to sell to people. And it's like, that's all gone. The guests don't, cut in your line as much as there's weird elevator etiquette that's different, but in the sort of worst that I think scared a lot of Disney fans away is not present. I had no problem with any of the guests. And in fact, they were very excited to talk Disney. And, for those that were, I was able to interact with. And it just showed like, they live in a very different world than we do here in the United States, but they still love Disney. And you couldn't tell the difference if you, stuck a Shanghai guest next to a Disneyland guest, Disneyland, California guest, and, took away the branding of what park they were in. They're decked head to toe in the, legit merchandise, not counterfeit merchandise. They're dancing along with the parade. They're the total annual pass holders or whatever, they're calling it at their park. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it is fun. I haven't been there in obviously 10 years and 10 days now, but it was great when I was there, and I hope to get back sometime. And then finally, I wanted to talk just very briefly about what I was doing in the last few days. I got a chance to tour all 7 of the Disney Springs area hotels. Those are the ones not owned by Disney, but are on Disney property and are within, I'd say, 15-minute walk of Disney Springs. And that was really interesting to see kind of the pros and cons of each one. There's several different room types and all sorts of different advantages and to each one. So I will be writing about each one of those hotels and kind of the highlights of what they have to offer, plus an article with some of the superlatives. Like I'll give you one of them, which is that the Drury runs their own buses. So their bus system is much closer to what you get from Disney, with the exception of the fact that all of the hotels in the area can only go to the TTC, not to Magic Kingdom itself. But their buses run more regularly, whereas the other ones, it's on the top of the hours when you get to go to the park. So it makes it a little bit, you have to plan and be on time to get to the park. So, but I'll have plenty more on that in the weeks ahead. But for now, it's time for Benji's quiz. All right, sir. On this day in 1957, an attraction debuted at Disneyland and lasted until September of 1958.
So it disappeared. It debuted in 57
and ended in September of 58.
Viewliner?
Correct. The predecessor to the monorail. 1970.
I wouldn't have gotten it if you didn't tell me when I was leaving.
I know. That's why it would have been really hard.
Yeah.
This day in 1970, an actor was born. His Disney credits include Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, The Adventures Begin, and Monsters University, but he is much more well known for an NBC sitcom.
Buzz Lightyear, Star Command, the event, and what was the other one? Monsters University. Sean Hayes. Sean Hayes,
yes. This day in 1984, an actress was born, also in Monsters University, as well as Agatha All Along, and also much more well known for an NBC sitcom.
Aubrey Plaza.
Yes. On this day in 1999, a DCOM debuted, a very famous DCOM.
Okay, 99. So it's not Aquamarine. Establish that. 1999, summer of 1999. It's got to be Smart House.
Correct. I had the synopsis here, but you didn't need it.
But also starring a man who played a person who could turn into a mermaid. Or did he turn into no? That was a different person. He turned into a leprechaun.
Yeah, same difference. And then finally, on this day in 2009, a DCOM was released, and I have the stars, but you're so good at this, I don't know if you'll need them.
I'm not gonna get that one.
It stars Demi Lovato and Selena Gomez.
Oh, Princess Protection Program.
Yes. All right, and with that, it's actually, let me do the 10 a.m. refresh before we get to our, we'll do Sorcerer's Streak next, and then Winners and Losers. I forgot how my own show works, because it's been 3 days. Not seeing anything at the moment, but I'll check back in a second. Let's do Sorcerer's Streak. Well, today being Stitch Day, yesterday I asked if the space chat with Stitch at Shanghai Disneyland would have a wait time of 20 minutes or more at any point today. Today is probably already over in Shanghai, so we could find out. Let me see. It is Friday at, oh, no, that's regular Disneyland. Okay, never mind. That makes sense. Let me go to Shanghai. And yes, it's 1 in the morning, so I can definitely find out whether or not that happened. And it maxed out at 15 minutes. So that is a no answer that I'll be locking in after this. But today's question, go ahead.
I'm logging in so I can actually answer because I keep forgetting.
Okay, well, today's question is, will Toy Story 5 make 90 million or more during its second weekend at the domestic box office? That would be a solid hold, honestly, because it would have opened to 160, but that includes the Thursday preview, so it's almost like a 4-day. And yeah, we'll see. I mean, it is that is a fair number. It is tracking in that range at least, but that again, that would be a solid hold. If it, yeah, Benji, it has legs. See, I used it for the wrong movie. But let's check out on the leaderboard. Luke is still hanging in there because I need to he has way more correct than me. It's pretty hilarious. But then Jeremy, Dan, and Benji, you are in 5th. So maybe if you, like me, start answering more questions, maybe we'd be able to move up.
I just answered a question, so hopefully.
All right. Hopefully the answer is yes, because we want Toy Story 5 to make money because we want Disney to have money. All right, now it's time for the best segment of the week.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. I'm a loser.
Do you want to go first or second, keeping in mind that it is a snake, so you'll do back-to-back if you go second?
I'll go second.
Okay. My winner of the week, I'm going to do my runner-up, which is something that I experienced while I was at Walt Disney World, and that is this what is it called? It's right here. Kakagori Cool, which is right across from Morimoto Asia. And, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of like shaved ice, but I thought this was really good. And what makes it special is this signature one has some frozen vanilla custard in the center of it, which to me just completely elevated it. And definitely big enough to share if there's someone you don't mind sharing germs with. And the $1 more for the custard is a no-brainer. And I will also say, not only did this prove popular on its first day, I saw several guests just walk by and decided to get something. Even though they have this very limited menu and it kind of states which flavors are included, they're more than happy to customize it. So if you just want blue raspberry on a classic, even though that's not listed as an option, they can do that for you. So cool place, and they say it gets colder. But my actual winner is going to be level 99. From what I heard from Luke and as well as some of the other people like Michelle and Scott that got to preview it as well, and cast member friends of mine, everyone is really enjoying it, thinks it's a lot of fun, and think it's going to do well. Like, people were a little iffy when the pricing came out, but I've heard great things from everyone that's got a chance to do it. So hopefully this is one that sticks at that location. It's a big place to have empty. So I'm glad something that seems to be enjoyable goes. And it also sounds as though they have some plans for how they can continually refresh the games. So it makes a different experience.
I am distracted because I think we have some breaking news.
Oh, okay. Well, let me hit the button just in case.
I think it's been announced on when Camp Rock 3 is premiering on Disney Plus. But if you go register for the Disney Plus Perks contest to attend the premiere of Camp Rock 3, you will see that it says Camp Rock 3 premieres on August 14th on Disney Plus.
That is more specific than the August that we knew ahead of time. So there you go. Breaking news. Camp Rock 3, August 14th. Allegedly, until Disney fixes that. Well, this one says August 13th that it airs. So I don't know if that was out there or not, or whether it was.
Okay, maybe
We'll have
it
to
was
dive
announced.
into it.
But yeah, because it's not. Where do you see that?
I mean, that was a Reddit, so
Okay.
could just be a lucky guess.
Yeah, the Wikipedia, I mean, doesn't seem to have it.
Yeah, very confusing. Anyway, do you have your winner?
My winner is Josh Tomorrow. Yesterday was his 100th day, so we have seen what his first 100 days has looked like. And while there hasn't been any major changes, I think, he's done a fairly good job. He's still accessible, which I think was at least one of my concerns was that sort of Josh in the park moments were going to be gone because he'd be busy doing other things. And hasn't really tried to rejigger the system too much, and not. But there's going to be opportunities to develop Disney moving forward, and I think we'll hear more about that in the coming months. And you can read at some point today my full analysis of his first 100 days will be posted on Laughing Place. But I think kudos, he hasn't completely ruined the company like some other people can have done in the first 100 days.
That's important. On that note, who's your loser? Or what is your loser?
That's a great question, and I definitely should have written it down. So I'm going to let you pick your loser.
All right, my loser, and this is admittedly unfair since I have not experienced it, but this week Disney Store announced an AI shopping assistant, and there's almost no chance that this is going to be useful to anybody. That's just my opinion. But it's just how these things go. Like, oh yeah, my outfit of the day. It's like, oh, did you want to wear this mini shirt with a bow on it? Like, I just don't really understand. Maybe if I guess it gives you an excuse. Like if you type in now, I'm looking. Like one of the examples is, oh, I'm looking for something for my niece, and then it'll just bring up a bunch of generic items. But yeah, I also given Disney's reputation when it comes to tech, I'm very bearish on this whole thing.
My loser is the World Cup. Only allowing ESPN to show 2 minutes of highlights per hour, and you have to wait until Fox has ended its complete broadcasting day, including their late night show, is just not a great way to cover the sport. And then there's reports that they're upset that ESPN isn't covering the sport more, and you're like, well, can't even show highlights. So
there's so many highlights in a 0-0 tie.
Well, I didn't watch the game last night because I fell asleep, but the U.S. is doing okay, so we'll see what happens. It was interesting to be leaving the country while everyone was coming in for the World Cup.
Yeah, that's true. That's been fun. Cool. Well, that does it for this edition of the Disney Morning Show. Thank you all for joining us. I see a question about trivia tomorrow, and I don't know the answer, although I think Doobie is in town. So maybe, hopefully, that's why you want to subscribe and ring the bell so you know whenever we go live. And we should be back on Monday with another Disney Morning Show hosted by somebody and me. So anything you want to add before we say goodbye, Benji?
Just that based on my text with the Disney Kids and Family, that's the real winner of like the year. Changing the name of that is that they haven't announced that it's premiering on Disney Plus August 14th. So
okay, did you tell them that they actually did?
Yeah, I just did. We'll see. We'll see. Right. We'll tune in next time I'm on, and I'll give you the play-by-play on how this ends.
See how the story. If you don't see the story on Laughing Place in a few minutes, All right, thanks everybody.
This is the true insider information you get by watching the morning show.
There you go. Bye.